WWL Louisiana News at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Charisse Gibson, joining you at WWL Louisiana News at 4. We begin this afternoon with the news that broke in just the last couple of hours. New Orleans police say one of their recruits was taken into custody this morning by immigration agents. Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick did not identify the recruit during a press conference this afternoon, but said they had lived in the U.S. for 10 years and had no criminal background. We'll have more details on this story in just a moment. Now, at that same presser, NOPD said there are now 2 people of interest and a deadly shooting at Dookie Chase. We are told these people on your screen are not wanted for a crime, but they may have some information that could help with the investigation. That shooting on January 16th left 19-year-old Kareem Harris dead and 3 women injured. Visiting our city. Also new this afternoon, a businessman who wanted to build a data center in New Orleans East says the deal is off. It comes after the city council took the first step towards blocking such developments. He tells us now he plans to build his data center somewhere else. And nationwide, millions of Americans are still digging out from snow and ice. At least 50 people have died from winter storm conditions or weather-related accidents, and hundreds of thousands are still without power after ice took down trees and power lines. More now on this afternoon's breaking news after New Orleans police announced that one of their recruits was taken into custody by ICE. Mike McDaniel joining us now. Mike, you were at that press conference. First of all, that one was a shock for a lot of us. The big question a lot of people had after that was done was if any of the recruits or anyone who plans to be a New Orleans police officer needs to be an American citizen before they do so.
Yeah, well, the short answer there is no, you don't have to be. There is actually a part of the application process on the application itself that asks whether you're a citizen. It doesn't matter if you are. You can check yes and move on, or you can check no, but have some type of status, some type of way you're working towards getting legal status, and you can still go through the process and go into the academy and become a New Orleans police officer. Now, we were at that news conference earlier, of course, for the homicide investigation to the Dookie Chase shooting, but this quickly pivoted when Chief Ann Kirkpatrick said there have been some developments which you all are going to be mindful of, and of course she told us about this recruit.
You know, this can always go differently. I spoke to an immigration attorney, Michael Gahagan, a couple of hours ago, right after this announcement was actually made, and I had a real question about, obviously they said they go through an e-verify process. Yes. You go through a process where they do these background checks on officers, as they should do, and everything checked out, every box checked out. So what between then and now made him a target? Yeah,
so we're going to think back to June on this, because that is when this recruit, this applicant, started the hiring process with NOPD. He had the background check, he passed it, the criminal background check, also went through the e-verify system, checked there as well, and had all the documents, a driver's license as well as a social security number to make him legit within the New Orleans Police Department. So there were no red flags, no issues with this guy. But then you fast forward 6 months, a federal immigration judge in Georgia puts a removal order on him, and that's when ICE agents became to get involved. NOPD did not know about this, so they questioned whether he would have had some type of legal status to continue with that application at the time. So maybe red flags would not have been known back then, and that's why ICE agents went in without the help of NOPD. They had no idea this was happening and arrested him either this morning or sometime within the past 24 hours because the police chief didn't find out about it until today.
And up until this point, we don't know nationality, who this officer is. Details are still limited.
We don't. So they did not identify him at this news conference a little bit earlier today. We have reached out to ICE. We have reached out to DHS to try to get some more information on who he is, what the charges are, if he has any criminal history, which the NOPD didn't see in the background checks. Also, where he's being held and where he was arrested. You know, someone told me he was probably at his home, but it was without altercation. There were no issues with the arrest, and it was all good.
All right, thanks, Mike, so much. We're going to continue to follow along with that story. Thanks for your update. You can learn more at 5, 6, and 10. And remember, you can always find the latest updates on this story and all of today's headlines at our website, free smartphone app, and our social media pages. With all this in mind, fallout continues over the killing of a second American citizen by federal immigration agents this year, and it's only January. So around 9 Saturday morning, 37-year-old Alex Preddy was shot in Minneapolis. Department of Homeland Security officials quickly claimed Preddy had approached agents with a handgun and wanted to, quote, massacre law enforcement. Now, that's despite multiple witness videos showing Preddy only holding his phone and never appeared to reach for his legally carried weapon as he was surrounded by officers. Now, those videos also show an agent pulling the gun from Preddy's waistband just before another agent fires the first shot. Within 5 seconds, 2 agents had shot Preddy at least 10 times. State and local leaders in Minnesota immediately pushed back on the federal government's version of events. And Freddie's family released a statement saying, quote, "The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting," end quote. Now, the shooting comes just 3 weeks after ICE agents killed 37-year-old Renee Good, also in Minneapolis. And video from that day also seems to contradict the version of events described by federal officials. Now, Democratic leaders are calling for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to be fired or face impeachment hearings. Last week, Devin Bartolotta talked to journalists in Minneapolis about their struggle to get accurate information. And you can find more of Devin's interview with Chris on our streaming app, WWL+. You can download it to your television for free. Well, looking ahead now, New Orleans' new administration is hoping to connect to the community, and they're hosting a number of public events. They'll be held over the next week in each district, starting tomorrow in District B. Helena Moreno's newly appointed deputy mayors will be on hand to share their vision, their priorities, and hear more from residents. Tomorrow's next meeting is at 6 o'clock at 1307 Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard. Also happening tomorrow, a new exhibit will be open at the Presbyterian, celebrating the legacy of Black Carnival societies. And we got a preview today on WWL Louisiana Morning News.
Yeah, we're putting together the story of how important it was from 1894 to the present in a society that segregated African Americans. These families came together and said, we're going to transform spaces.
The opening ceremony is from 6 to 8 tomorrow night. The exhibition runs through March 15th. And this weekend, a massive estate sale is planned featuring items from the late Joe Yeager. The real estate developer and hotelier died in 2024 after a car wreck. He owned several properties in the city, including the Blighted Plaza Hotel. That estate sale is Friday and Saturday at Consign Warehouse on Magazine Street. While still ahead on WWL Louisiana News at 4, the Federal Reserve decides to hold interest rates steady. We talked to business analysts about what this means for inflation and future labor trends. Plus, and popular foodie is bringing a new festival to New Orleans. You're going to love this one. We worked to get a taste of what's to come from Keith Lee.
Another blast of Arctic air is set to spread across the country this weekend. It will turn frigid here at home over the weekend. We'll talk about how much colder it will get in just a few days coming up after this break.
And your top trending stories this afternoon. A fight during last night's Pelicans game has everyone talking immediately after the final buzzer. Take a look at this one. Oklahoma City Thunder player Lou Dort and the Pels' Jeremiah Fears, they got into it, leading both of these teams to clear the benches while there weren't any in-game penalties. And we're watching to see if the NBA will hand any sort of punishment here. I'm trying to look at it myself. I didn't see it last night. One of the most popular food influencers in the country, he's bringing a new festival to the city. Keith Lee has gained millions of followers by doing reviews at restaurants across the country. Now, in a new video, Lee says he wants to highlight local cuisine at a May event, and he teased a big musical lineup.
So we're going to do music from Louisiana, but also national recording artists, big artists, very big artists, hitting up every different generation.
All right, Lee's website doesn't give us much more information. He's just leaving us on hold. What he's dubbed Family Day. But our Meg Ferris was on the phone with him a short time ago. I am so jealous. Meg gets it all. We'll bring us more details on the news at 6. And today, it's going to be a little warmer, but another cool down is on the way, which can mean some frigid temperatures during this weekend's carnival parades. But don't worry, we are in contact with the organizers. We, of course, will let you know if any changes are announced. And Alexa Trischler joining me right now. Alexa, yes. I know I'm going to be inside for the parades because I'm not going to be, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not very good with the chilly temperatures sitting there. You have to move around a little bit and you have to, you know, drink a little bit more.
Yeah, you
but
do. Gotta dance
warm
a little
up.
bit more.
Dance
definitely.
a little bit more.
Yeah, didn't we have a story you have to put like hot peppers or something in your shoes?
I'm not putting cayenne in my shoes. I don't know what's going on with people. Let me tell you something. I don't know what those people told y'all. Do not put no cayenne pepper in your feet, in your socks, or in your shoe. That is not a Louisiana thing, a New Orleans thing. I've never heard it in my life.
Well, it's going to be cold this weekend for sure. You need something,
Put a coat on. Be normal.
Be normal.
Well, welcome back. In today's stories impacting your wallet, Amazon says it's laying off 16,000 employees. It cites a need to be nimble to increase decision-making speed around AI. The cuts followed 14,000 others in October. Amazon says it will continue to adjust staffing as needed, and that includes the potential hires in other strategic areas. This is also having a ripple effect with UPS, of course, expected to cut 30,000 jobs because they expect to deliver less Amazon packages. And home sales, they are down, but one of the reasons may surprise you. December saw more than 40,000 would-be buyers back out of contracts. According to Redfin, more than 16% of contracts written during the month didn't end up going through. The years-long slump in housing sales has been largely blamed on lack of available inventory and high mortgage rates. Some experts say that's only part of the picture, and buyers are becoming more selective. To many analysts, it started to become unclear whether we are in a buyer's or a seller's market. Meanwhile, Goodwill doing more than good. The largest thrift store chain in the world says it exceeded $7 billion in revenue last year. That is not only a record-setting high, it is also a 7% hike from 2024. Analysts say the uncertain economy and slow job growth and a rise in cost have more people shopping at Goodwill stores in order to save money. Officials say they plan to add at least 50 new stores nationwide this year. Plus, some students could get a free ride to a top university, and a big change could be coming to the Federal Reserve. Brianna Boudreau has more in your Money Moment.